it's morning, obviously. And they're like, okay, we're leaving this morning. We're gonna head down to Mexico as soon as we get up. And it's gonna be great. And the husband goes, why are we whispering? And she said, because you can hear everything out here. And he's like, we're a magic place where you can hear everything.
Oh, man. Well, I would have loved to watch the video on the exit point from Nogales, Mexico, because I walked through and I'm like, they don't really tell you how to get back. Arizona is a wildly beautiful place, brimming with over 100 brewing companies. I'm Rob Fulmer, the Executive Director of the Arizona Craft Brewers Guild. I'm joined by Deputy Director Andrew Bauman. Together we cover the state, bringing you the best of what's happening at our breweries and beyond. Welcome to Arizona Beer Frontier. If you want to have some of this Helles, you can have that too. Wren House, Helles. We can work backwards, work forwards, since we're...
What's happening?
This is the Wren House Helles style pale lager.
Great.
So I just said we could work forwards or backwards. We could talk about the thing that happened most recently and then, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that, because I don't have a lot of visuals. I was busy for this Czech beer dinner.
I took a few. Did you check the beer value?
I did.
So there's a few.
Yeah, there's a few. I just didn't get very good pictures of the meals. I didn't get any standalone pictures of the meals. So I kind of wait to see if I can find some of those on the Facebook, but it wasn't really something that I think a lot of people would have Facebooked. I don't know why. I don't know. But I didn't get the spot check, which is the, what is it? That's, Samansi Sir, which is the fried cheese, the spot check, which is the burger. I don't think they serve that. They definitely did the pechne kochna, which is the duck confit, and the donuts, koblihi.
You were missing something?
I don't know.
There's a gap.
I don't know. It was a great meal. It was well attended. We didn't have to turn too many people away. It was pre-sold out.
So Rob's talking about our evening in Prague with the Phoenix Sister Cities that was hosted at Wren House Sud Hall.
You are correct, Andrew Bauman.
Hey, Rob.
Thought I'd work it into a sentence.
We did it backwards, kind of. Okay, just like you said. So yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, I wasn't there earlier in the day, but it seemed like everybody was super happy about the meal. I know the Prague Sister Cities Committee was. There was a little bit of talk about history and culture, and it's just going to be a good way to kick things off. We'll get the full hot wash on it later, but if you were there, let us know what you thought.
Yeah, great. We went to Goldwater's 9 year? Is that right?
9, yes.
It's a lot.
Yeah, there's a couple 9 years coming up.
A true
I think
fact.
Dark Sky has one coming up.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
9. So they had their, I don't know the last time you were there is, or when the last time you saw it pretty full, like to capacity full, because it was pretty full when we were there.
I don't go during regular times.
Right.
I just go in the afternoon.
So they got the upstairs kind of crow's nest thing up there. That
rooftop patio.
Right. I got a good picture from there. And that's where I ran into Maggie, our daughter.
That's true. She was
And then
there.
we went down into the picnic area. They actually expanded their side patio that faces to the parking lot of SIP. There's a couple extra chairs there now that I don't remember being there. They had they still had their third place World Beer Cup Oats McGoats on. So I'm sure you had a pint of that.
I did.
I did as well. If you weren't able to get that, there might be some still available this week at some of their locations. I understand they had 2 kegs per location approximately. Otherwise, you have to wait 3 weeks. So they are in a rebrew on that right now. That was I spilled the beans, man.
Oh, World Beer Cup.
Yeah. Anyway, let's stay on the weekend.
Oh, we also had Pinnacle Brew Co.'s grand opening.
Yeah, I couldn't stay for when it actually started, so I kind of just took a few photos.
I should say, not grand opening.
No,
grand opening is May 3rd coming up. You can be there, good listener. We went to the Media and Industry Day. I don't know. There was a bunch of homebrewers there. It was a real nice hangout. They had some nice food. Friends and family was the day before, so their beer was excellent.
Right. We will not be able to be there because we are going to be at the
Tucson.
Yeah, we're gonna be in Tucson for Baja, as you can see right here.
Nice lighted up signs you got here, Rob.
These are lighted signs. Let me illustrate. Let me illustrate this by turning the lights off.
Okay. They hate you.
Man, I don't know.
Let me have one.
Here, you have one.
Okay. How many people does it take to turn a light off? Oh my gosh, look at that light up. Oh, it's so bright. It's not reflected. It's actually lit. Okay.
You hang on to that one. That's yours.
All right, in case we decide to do some more.
We'll have more information on that at some point. Mm-hmm. We don't yet have.
We've got a full bill of goods going on in our lives right now, for sure.
Yeah. So we cannot make the Pinnacle, but it's a beautiful looking brewery. I didn't get to try any beer, as you said they were excellent. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
No flaws. Beautiful taste. They have. They had a
Grodzisky, yes.
Yeah, running the smoke beers. He's got a Saison on the list to brew this week.
Who opens with a 100% smoked wheat, slightly soured Polish style beer?
Pinnacle Brewing Co.
Is there? I know their last name is Wilson, but is there Polish in the family?
I think they're really trying to just push
crazy beers,
out of the box styles.
Got you. Did you just blend your beer?
No, I finished
Oh, okay.
I only had a little splash of that Helles.
Okay. So that was all we did on Saturday, yeah?
3 things, yeah.
3 things, yeah. Well, like I said, I went there early just to check it out. They weren't open for anything, so I just said hello, took a few photos.
That's right.
And met you at Goldwater.
From Scottsdale Airport to Ahwatukee.
Right. What the big news is the GABF wins.
Right.
World Beer Cup wins.
World Beer Cup wins that we got to participate in while we were at the Craft Brewers Conference in Las Vegas.
The World Beer Cup.
The World Beer Cup.
The World Beer Cup is the most prestigious.
Is the most prestigious beer competition in the world.
In the world.
World Beer Cup.
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 World Beer Cup. World Beer Cup.
World Beer Cup.
Yeah.
Right. Should we go over that and then talk about this? Yeah. I mean, let's the big gold medal winner, 12 West with Zona
Pilsner.
They call it a Pilsner, and they entered the American Lager.
American Light Lager?
No, I think that's where Doc shined on that one, I think.
Okay.
I can look it up. But,
we do have pictures. That's true.
I can look it up, but that wasn't the first medal. But that was. We're going to go in order. What I like about that is it's a beer they have on
all the time. Yeah,
and it's good to see someone capitalize on that great name. You know.
And they have some pretty nice can design on that too.
Contemporary American style lager.
Oh, super.
Right.
I love it.
So they won the gold. The other two were Golden Hour Light from Savage Craft Ale Works in West Columbia, South Carolina, and Invert from Cova Brewing in Norfolk.
Well, congratulations, 12 West.
Yeah, no, so that's great. They've gone through a sort of a rebrand on the packaging, I think, in the last couple of years, and to have that name and to have those accolades, I mean, I think that, and the lagers were the trend, right? I mean, in terms of who's won.
Seems like it this year for sure.
Silver medals. We got 2 silver medals. One was from Sudoku Oso Sudoku, which is one of your favorite lagers.
Was that a herb spice, I believe?
Herb and spice beer, yeah. Yeah, but it is a lager.
I love that beer so much.
I mean, what do you...
It's a rice lager with lemongrass and, I think there's another spice in there. But man, it's so good. Yeah. It's so dang good. I love that beer. And it is not always around, but when it is, I grab it.
Right. So that was bested by Ginzu from 10 Barrel Brewing West Side. And 10 Barrel is something that we're going to talk about, maybe, or I will. They had a big night, and there's a lot of backstory to that.
Oh boy!
But the third place winner in that is Sweet Chai O' Mine.
Sweet Chai O' Mine.
Huddle Brewing Company, which is from Las Vegas. We spent some time there.
Yes.
The other silver, not that one. Not that one. I took a lot of photos.
Were you just aiming at the screen like, I think that's an Arizona
it's really
brewery.
hard to, well, yeah, I know. The other silver was Day Drinker Light Lager from Day
Drinker Light Lager. Beautiful.
Yeah.
What category?
International Light Lager.
Oh. No American Light Lagers. Too bad.
Something to...
Contemporary. International. I'm just going around the edge.
Well, I mean, for the sake of anyone else, I mean, what distinguishes those? Like, not actually reading the things, but like, it's ingredients, right? It's supposed to be. It is, the flavors derived from those ingredients.
I think it's more like
international hops.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
Then what is it?
I don't think American lager requires you to use American hops.
None of them do, but they also talk about the flavors derived from those traditional ingredients. So if you can, I mean, literally, if you can make a beer, if you can make an IPA without hops.
Yeah, you could.
You could. I mean, you could definitely medal. And then you go, hey, haha, we had no hops. And then maybe you'll win the Russell Schur Innovation in Brewing Award, which we'll talk about.
Oh, boy. Remember how Scottsdale Beer Co. won a medal for New Zealand style pale ale?
Yeah. I mean, but, I've seen Fate had that. They might have actually won one, too, in that category. They definitely were competing in that category. These things kind of run in streaks, and it depends on what presentations these guys have seen or what the hop companies are sort of pushing as their educational piece. Because, I never used to see Italian Pilsners, right?
Well, it wasn't a category for a long time.
Right, but it wasn't even a name of something that you heard. I mean, there was 2, beers that you could possibly get out of Italy, but no one really called them Italian Pilsners.
Right.
They were just
Italian beer.
Lagers that you got from Italy. So Prost won that gold medal for International Light Lager for their leaked beer. And Wander Brewing won for Wander Lightly, Bellingham, Washington.
Beautiful.
I don't know if I have enough information about the third place medal that we received.
Oats Goats?
Well, I don't know what they. I think you had that picture and I didn't. Well, see, I have a photo here. Look at how washed out it is. I took it too fast or something.
Ah, shucks. Let's see if I got that.
As we mentioned at the beginning of this podcast when we were at Goldwater, you can get Oats Goats, which is an oatmeal stout. Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
We have 88 oatmeal stout, 68 entries in this category. Our good friends at Goldwater Brewing Company in Scottsdale got the bronze. Mountain Moonlight from Wild Fields Brew House in Atascadero, California. And then Black Igneous from Devilcraft in Japan.
I keep running across a video that has sound and sorry.
And someone's clapping. I hear you.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I want to.
Black Igneous from Japan.
Yeah, there were several awards won. It is the World Beer Cup after all. Several awards won by Japan, Peru.
Peru was crushing it.
Yeah. So good for all those guys.
Not so much Europe.
No,
they have so many awards out there.
Well, so this is run now once a year, and it used to be every other year. So I don't know if we'll see them cycle every 2 years. The shift, the continentals,
Asia,
and I don't. Yeah, and depending on where it is,
South America all the time.
Depending on where it is too, might influence. Somewhat. I mean, they all go to Denver to be judged eventually, but still, travel time. Understanding what your brewery needs are in terms of education or equipment that might factor in how much you enter or if you enter at all. These are questions we don't know. We do know that the entries were down slightly, but not terribly if you understand that this is every year. And in the United States, potentially twice a year.
It's pretty expensive to enter these things. Mm-hmm. So I definitely understand, like, if you're going to be present at the awards ceremony, then you would shoot your shot then. Like, you'd enter the max number into that if you're making the investment to take the trip, enter everything for that one. If you're not going to be there, maybe you wait until the next year or the next whatever. If it's JBF, World Beer Cup, whichever.
Yeah. Well, there was beyond that, and maybe we'll talk about we will talk about CBC and locations and stuff in this pod, and maybe more as the year goes on. But I do want to mention somebody who had a great night. They don't do for World Beer Cup. They don't add up all the numbers and say you are the small brewery of the year.
They don't have those categories for World Beer Cup.
They have that for Great American Beer Fest, but they don't have that for World Beer Cup. And presumably some of it has to do with the fact that with a wide number of countries and breweries, that the difference between a brewery and another brewery in terms of medals and wins might be literally down to points, which can be expressed. You get 654, and then it could be like, because you get points for being at the final table. There are other ways to get points, basically to break ties, and that's, I think, maybe the thinking. But let me tell you, 10 Barrel. I mentioned one of the awards. They swept a category. Yeah. They had two others, and they were switching between East Side and West Side. But the storyline is that this is Tanya Cornet's brewery, and it has been for quite some time. She has won awards since she was at Ben Brewing Company. I remember the movie For the Love of Beer. Mm-hmm. I got to meet her during the debut of that in Oregon because I went to a conference and I met everybody in that film, having no idea they were releasing this film. So I go to this conference, meet all these people, Fred Eckert, the Widmer brothers, all these beer bloggers that I've known on social media and Twitter. Who else? Jamie Floyd. Like, I've got a lifetime of hey, Jamie, don't often call you, but I need this favor. I got someone into a brewing school because I called up Jamie Floyd and he was on the faculty and they were overbooked.
Very cool.
I mean, but he's that kind of guy, and he's a guy that, like Garrett Marrero and like Ted Golden here locally, remembers everybody's name and knows something about you. I think I talked about at Fobab how Tommy Arthur and Melissa Osborne here from Fort Peaks and Tanya Cornet kind of know each other. And so I got to pal around with them towards the end of the festival, drinking all the award medal winners. But I'm getting away from the point. The point is, she's been winning for a long time. 10 Barrel got sold to ABI, and then it got resold back to Tilroy. And she just recently picked up the Russell Schur Innovation Brewery Award, right? Innovation Brewer Award, which they name,
and that was at CBC.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the day before,
she was super nice, and she was just an incredible person.
She talked about all the struggles she had, all the people that helped her along the way, and so that's the day before, and then she sweeps this category, which, there's literally there will be tons of viral videos about this. Because we were right there. I think we're in a bunch of videos looking probably like, oh my God, but also like, I'm trying to stay out of this. And also we're trying to look and see where our guys were, because all the people who won the awards from Arizona, whether they were in Las Vegas or not, didn't go to the awards. And, sometimes we pick up those medals, but this year they had a giant plaque as an award.
Well, they were, they said at the beginning, they were shipping everyone's awards to them. So come up, get your picture with this thing, and we'll give you a sash that says gold, silver, or bronze to wear. And
then they ran out of them because a lot of times if we are going to do that, we'll do it at the end. And I won't get a picture for everyone. I'll just get at least one. So I was like, oh, what am I going to do? Just drape these sashes on my arms and hold the thing in my teeth? Because it's a lot. But they ran out of sashes, so it became kind of pointless. And I believe Rinhouse picked up a few awards for on behalf of some of our breweries.
I saw that picture.
Yeah.
That was not from this year.
Oh, it wasn't?
No.
Oh, okay.
You're talking about in Phoenix magazine?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was just a time that they won. And
okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Anyway, well, they were there.
They were, yeah.
They didn't win, but they were there.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for coming. We also saw a couple other people.
Tanya Cornett. People were there. There was a ton of Arizona breweries there. We had over 100 people that attended.
Tanya Cornett, though, like the room just became electrified. Everybody was cheering for her, and just shut the whole thing down. And like after that, everyone got super more excited every time they won. But she literally, there's a video of her standing next to Bob Pease, just yelling, just screaming at the top of her lungs. And then she just said, this never fucking happens. Like really loud. So I don't know if I could crib some of that video for our podcast effect.
That was pretty great.
It was. And so I get it. If you're there and you don't win, it's disappointing. When you do win though, man, it's pretty cool. But like if you like, there's going to be people who say this is like a moment, like people are going to say they were there, but they weren't there, man. It was super cool. I mean, to see that win, and for it's not them to pause and say, because I knew, like, and for her to have that moment with Bet Edmonds, who they are colleagues in Oregon. And he had won the Russell Schur Award the year before.
Wow.
He was standing up there for a medal.
Yeah.
And they had a chance to, because they lean on each other for all kinds of support and talking to them. So it was cool. And like she's literally like facing the crowd. And this is me standing in my chair trying not to get in photos. And like, because I don't look enthused enough probably. But like, I didn't even want to take away from her because like I know her, but she was so engaged. Like I didn't even like say congratulations to her because like I was just like, you are connected to everyone else in this room.
It's so cool.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought it was really special. So it's gonna file away as a great memory for me. So that's why you go.
Cheers.
That's why you go.
It's great. You almost made me tap my glass on the table. Almost did it.
Hey, we're the house. You can salute us.
No.
Okay, so yeah, that was pretty cool.
Pretty intense.
And then after that, you just kind of, some people go back to their hotel. Some people are done for the evening. Some people try to figure out how to get dinner. And
we did. We went to Tiki.
Yeah, we went.
That was fun.
Went to a Tiki bar.
That was great.
And try to figure out how to split a check 30 ways.
You're only allowed to do
two. No, I get it, but we just piled in this little seating area that probably only comfortably seats 8.
And we had 12 or 13.
Yeah.
It's fine. It was great.
Yeah. My only beef with it, the drinks were good. My only beef was it should be like egg rolls and poo-poo platters and right? It should be.
We just did regular appies that you would find at Chili's.
Well, no, I know. Yeah. They didn't have anything else, right? I was like, oh man, let's get some fun stuff.
Yeah. Nah, that was fine. They had the spray the alcohol and poof, the fire and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I have any pictures of that. I have a picture of a drink, I think. Andrew.
What now?
I basically made you carry a boat anchor to Las Vegas and back because we brought all this. I brought all of our equipment because I was like, oh, I had this vision that we were
all of our podcast equipment. It didn't work out, but it just sat there pretty idly. I mean, it didn't really sway the boat or anything.
No, I know.
It just sat there. Instead of bringing a cooler with food and beverages, I brought
which would be useful as you camp.
Sure.
So let's.
I wasn't in the middle of nowhere. I was going to a town and then go to somewhere so I could pick up the 6-pack. It's no big deal.
All right, let's go from the start to that point.
Going back. Okay.
So because then some of this will make sense, right? So
Thursday
because we wanted to see.
Should we take a break?
I don't know, man. I'm gonna roll. You want to take a break?
27 minutes. Yeah, let's take a break.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
And we're back.
Hey, stay tuned, everybody, if you're on the podcast watching on the video cast, because we're going to reveal the Baja Beer Fest baseball jersey that we have limited quantities of. Did we decide on what we're going to charge for it?
No.
Okay. It's well, I mean, it's what you would pay for a jersey,
a baseball jersey.
Yeah. It's
not cheap.
We'll reveal that, and we will try to paint a picture with our words for everyone who's listening in their automobiles. Oh. So don't drive off the road. It might be.
And you'll be so excited to hear our painting a picture with words. So
we were going to tour Northern Arizona, and
we had to
see some of our members and spend some time. It's a lot of golf.
We're going to take a few days.
Yeah.
Probably was a poor choice anyways, because the amount of time I spent was plenty. Why do I always make CVC longer than it needs to be? It really should just be.
Well, I mean, at least you built in some solitude. I mean, literally, and you didn't have me to hang out and bother you. Keep you up at night.
It was a night. No, I went to bed early when I was camping. It was great. But
so I bailed on this plan because we had an opportunity to use one of our special event licenses for some extra revenue. It was a golf tournament. It was put on by Grass Clippings at Rolling Hills in Tempe. I think we talked a little bit about our relationship with them and how, sometimes we do support adjacent things in our organization and bringing golf to more people, potentially selling more of our products, but also just, being Tempe neighbors and seemed like a no-brainer. Anyway, they asked us to support it with a special event license. So Oso donated some beer, the shop, Huss, and some of those proceeds hopefully will be
find their way to us.
Yeah. We've been out of town, so it's been difficult to reconnect with those folks. Not their fault. We've been out of town. Anyway, so I stuck around and flew.
And so Friday and Saturday, you went to the event,
right?
Shook some hands and kissed some golf clubs.
It's if you haven't been there in a while, they've rejuvenated the place. If you're a golfer,
they're very focused on night golfing.
Yeah,
it's a big deal.
And while the evenings are still cool, if you get there after work and the sun starts to go down and it's a little bit elevated, so you can see Hunt's tomb.
Cool.
In Papago. Hunt, one of the governors, that's buried under a pyramid. You can see his off in the distance. You can see the rocks of Papago. You can see downtown Phoenix. You can see downtown Tempe.
So it's a beautiful space.
Yeah.
It's an executive course, right?
Yeah.
So more 3s and 4s, no 5s.
Yeah. So
mostly 3s.
I'm not a golfer. Yeah,
okay.
mostly 3s,
All right.
I believe. So they're raising some money to complete their clubhouse and retooling the whole course again and all that stuff. So it was good.
Cool.
Hopefully we can coordinate some sort of events with them that are more planned in advance and are more craft beer centric.
Right.
So
Thursday, I drove up to Flagstaff,
yeah.
brought our liquor license to the police department.
Yep.
That worked out well
Yep,
because they
that's
approved it
signed.
the next day. Yeah. I did a pathways talk at NAU Hospitality School program. It used to be a separate school.
Hospitality Resource Management.
Hospitality Restaurant Management program. Their seniors have to go to 8 of these talks before they can graduate.
Wow.
And mine was one of the last 3. So we had a good number of people there. Yeah.
I mean, the last guy's talk you have to call it the Octagon. Welcome to the Octagon.
Everybody. It was great.
You all enter. You all probably leave because I'm not going to be arrested for keeping you here against your will.
I got done talking.
It's
It took me about half an hour, and then we did Q&A, and I required everyone to ask one question.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it was great. It took, at the beginning, everyone sat there like, "Go," and then I said, okay, I saw you paying attention to this thing. Do you have a question about that? And then it got the ball rolling, and everyone asked questions.
Right.
Yeah, went good.
You had a couple of good questions?
For sure.
Someone asked you your favorite beer?
Someone did. I don't think it was a student. I think it was like the intern that was in charge.
Right.
It's the best question
That
ever.
doesn't count.
And it's the question I get all the time. So then apparently one of the guys from the back of house at Beaver Street was there because Brady was there. And he's like, oh, my buddy was there. So they sat next to each other.
Brady, the official boy child of...
He's the official liaison for the Arizona Craft Brewers Guild in Flagstaff.
Right. But maybe a future snow shoveler for me. I don't know.
He is starting management training.
Yeah.
Yes.
At Beaver
Very
Street.
exciting. Yes. He's
Wow.
so excited.
Cool.
So we did that. And then
Do you realize that maybe in a couple years he might be our point of contact at
yeah. Wow.
Dad is the voting member.
I think I'll be dead before then, but maybe. Who knows? We went to dinner at Lumberyard. It's wonderful. I picked up a 6-pack, headed out to Belmont.
Belmont is just due west of Flagstaff, yes.
15 minutes-ish.
Yeah.
Drove back way into the woods, up a mountain, stayed at the top of the hill, listened to Taylor Swift's new album
You
come
probably
out.
could have looked up Mr. Rosebeer and Liz.
I did.
Oh, yeah.
I was texting with him.
Yeah.
He was on call, so he had to be near the computer. I was like, they're like, come down to our house. And I said, but my camp's already set, so sorry. Yeah.
I was all set to go to dinner with them, and then I'm like, I just remembered I'm driving on a donut.
Oh,
that was
God.
when my wife's car had a bad tire. I was about to drive back, and it had a huge bubble on the front passenger tire.
Wow.
I'm like, I can't drive on that. Yeah. So.
Oof.
Yeah.
They invited me over. Fortunately, it didn't work out.
Of course they did. That's what they do.
Yeah. Then I went to Williams the next morning and had coffee at Grand Canyon Brewing, Distilling, and Coffee Roastery in Williams, Arizona.
I should just mention Liz Rosevear is an employee of Grand Canyon who is married to Paul Rosevear, who used to be working for the Guild with me.
She is the director of special events.
Okay, great. He is just a guy that has to be on call.
He works in GIS.
Right.
I don't know how that makes it on call, but I also don't understand at all what he does.
If he sits in a control room, if there's fires,
Wildfires.
he has to map that out. I don't know how much air traffic control he's responsible for, but he definitely needs to let people know where the fire is in relation to where they might be and all that stuff. So it is like a pretty critical thing. And it's not just forest fires. That's the most relatable thing I could tell you.
Oh, okay.
Like if we were invaded by the Russians or something, sure, he's going to be on call too.
All right.
All
right.
Or whatever. Jewish space lasers firing from the sky, then we got to,
What about if it's Cuba and Russia together?
Oh, yeah.
Wolverine!
Yeah. That's what I was talking about.
So I went to Williams, and then I went to Chino Valley and went to Insurgent Brewing.
Yeah.
I think the only brewery in Arizona I haven't been to. Now Ball Yard Brewing is open in Bisbee. I haven't been there, but
Yeah.
they snuck that one in after my trip.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been
Did
on
you
this
go to
trip.
the Grand Canyon? Are you counting locations or just people who make beer?
I think locations.
Okay,
Yeah.
so have you been to you haven't been to the Oso, the new Oso? I haven't. You haven't?
Oh, yeah. No, I haven't been there or the New Fate. And
I've been to the New Fate.
Well, you're great.
No, I'm just saying.
Okay, so
Keep it to stainless steel and you'll be able to manage
just
that.
stainless, yeah.
Because those
Just
tap
stainless.
rooms come and go
They pop up.
sometimes. I'm trying to throw you off your very linear landscape of Arizona.
So that was an hour down to. Oh, so one thing that happened when I left on Thursday is I forgot to put my belt on. So I'm beltless. That was not comfortable.
Yeah.
What that added on my trip was I had to stop at Goodwills and look for belts or thrift stores because there's not really Goodwills in these little towns, but there are thrift stores.
You're minimum going to spend $40, $30 on a belt if you buy it at retail.
Oh,
Because
no.
I'm just saying because they only have a limited amount, and I mean,
Well, I was just like, I just, this is literally just a throwaway belt. I don't even care what it is.
I'm just saying, like, if you walked into
I had no luck.
any retail situation,
Nothing until I got to Vegas.
Yeah, no belt,
No belt. I mean, I stole Brady's, but that was way too small.
right? You should have got suspenders.
I could have gotten those in Chino Valley. That thrift store had several sets of suspenders.
Right.
Which, no, thank you. Went to Chino Valley, came back up, went to Kingman, went to Grand Canyon, went to Blackbridge.
You could have came down from your campsite if you ran to anybody with your suspenders, like, you're on my claim.
I need a different hat.
Oh,
I
okay.
could borrow one of those from. Oh, maybe I'll get one of those at the thrift store too.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. So then I went to Wild Cow Campground. It is 10 minutes. I don't know. It's you go up to Wallapai County Campground.
Yeah, you've said that correctly now.
I know.
I remember
I've been
back
practicing.
in episode 8 or something.
Yeah, I was practicing.
Yeah, good.
Then around the mountain over to Wild Cow. Loved it. So gorgeous.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Such a great place. The next, I took a bunch of nice photos.
Okay.
The sun, the moon. Oh my gosh,
Are those
the
in
moon was
in a
so
share
bright this
somewhere?
whole time.
I can throw those up.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're all in there. Then I went the next morning, headed to Vegas.
Right.
Got to Vegas at 11 a.m.
You did.
That's some time. I promised it was 11 because
So
I was
I'm
right
still
when
not-
they were unlocking Love Lady.
Oh, so I'm not there yet. I'm still I'm still
Still just me.
Yeah.
I went to a few places, got a car wash.
So this is Saturday.
Saturday.
Okay.
Checked in at my camp place
How far outside of Las Vegas were you? Proper.
in
Your
my
campsite.
camping.
Yeah.
No, I was in a lady's driveway 10 minutes from the airport.
How does that work?
Hip camp.
Hip camp.
Yes. So hip camp, you can find places to
It's an
camp.
app? Is it a
It's an app.
Okay.
It's a website and an app.
Camp.
Hip camp. And so there might be a person who owns 25 acres in a
Right.
wildlife area outside Tucson, and they'll just be like, yeah, just go in the gate and camp somewhere tonight, $20.
Right. So I could just my little driveway because we
Yes.
had to do that that sewage pipe extravaganza. I could just put in a clean out hose and a
No, you don't have to have any services at all.
No.
You don't have to have water. You don't have to have bathroom. You don't have to have power. Nothing.
I want to charge premium.
Oh, you
man.
can charge extra, sure. So yeah, your little thing, but it's not necessarily designed. I mean, it's for everyone.
Yeah.
I take that back. There's for tent camping. There's for RVs. There's for what I'm doing. Anything.
That's good to know.
I mean, it's not the same as Harvest Host, which is who I had a meeting with today, who's going to become an allied member.
Okay.
That's a whole different story.
Right.
Because they don't allow tent camping. You have to have a potty to do Harvest Host.
Yeah. Even if you have one of those high-tech ones and,
That's fine.
the big diaper genie one.
Whatever you want to do, as long as you have a self-contained RV, which I do not.
Okay.
I could pop up a little tent and put a potty in it, but that doesn't really.
It seems like you could play that game like the people who own boat slips. Like, oh, you need a seaworthy vessel, and like so it's a log with lights.
Okay.
And no, really, that's how they continue to sublease their boat slips, so they don't have a boat any longer. And they just put a log with running lights and whatever makes it
a canoe, maybe.
Could be a canoe, but but I guess people were upset with people who did that, and they would sink their canoes.
Yeah,
you can't sink a log.
No, you really. I mean, it takes a lot of work. A lot of work.
Yeah, I'm not even joking about that. It's crazy what people. It's forced compliance, right? Like So Just put
malicious. It's malicious compliance,
right? You just
I mean, I could
put a Winnebago logo on it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
No, you don't need to do
good.
that.
So
you don't,
then, that night, the nice host brought me a dozen eggs from the chickens she had in her backyard.
That's right.
And she had goats as well. But
so you told me this, and then I asked you. So you literally then had them in your room,
and guess what?
You forgot
them in the fridge of the hotel. I got home and I was like, "Where are the eggs?"
Oh my God. And you know how long it might take for that? Because like I guarantee you the cleaning people don't look in that.
They open it. There's nothing in it. They close it. It is in the top closest bat.
Oh my God. Awesome.
I hope it doesn't have my fingerprints on it. I mean, I'm sad I didn't have the eggs and that those poor chickens worked so hard and for nothing. But yeah, that happened. And then you called.
I did call you.
On Sunday morning.
Yeah. So I also messed my flights up many, many times and had that fixed. Because I was originally going to come in later. I'm like, why am I coming in later? This makes no sense. Andrew's already there and there are things to do.
Yeah.
Why did I plan so late?
You planned on getting there at like 2:30 or 3?
Yeah. But I got there at 8 or something like that. Or 9.
9.
Yeah.
I picked you up at 9.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was perfect. And really, like, my hip camp was so close to the airport.
Yeah. Yeah. So foreshadowing, you drove through the parking garage where you have to come in to pick me up, and you were kind of concerned about your roof top.
You know, they have the big metal thing with the chains hanging down.
Right.
And I was like, whoa, I think I'm going to be close to that. I wasn't really.
Okay. Just foreshadowing. So you pick me up. We go to
disc golf with our friends from Hop Passport and Be Fresh.
Be Fresh.
Be Fresh merch.
Right. Right. So I hang out there for a little bit and, just morning, getting off the plane, having some coffee. I'm like, I gotta go. This is a wonderful park, by the way.
Wonderful park where not only was there our tournament, but also an enormous pickleball tournament where they brought in outside toilets.
Right. Right.
What happened, Rob?
So I went to the brick and mortar there and like, this is a prison toilet. Like stainless steel, single. I'm like,
a public park toilet.
Yeah. And I just like, there's a lot of, I just, couldn't do it. So I went to
but it was a flush toilet, not a vault, right?
No.
Okay.
But then I went to the trailer. That had stuff coming up out of the toilet. It was so full. Like, can't do that.
Multi-day tournament on the last day.
Yeah.
And they didn't get it pumped.
Nope. I walked to the other one, prison toilet.
Said, no, I'm out.
And I'm like, Andrew, I got to go.
You already had my keys.
Yeah.
So I got what we needed. Rob went back to the car. He brought my sunscreen. Thank you.
Yeah.
We all appreciate that.
Right. So I drove to check in. So I get to the...
Oh, man, there's so many stories. We're only on day one.
Oh, my God. I get to the hotel, and I'm like, I go to like the check-in area, and like, I don't think they want you to hang out there. I just like, fuck it. I'm going. I got to take care of some business on the way. I'm going to go check in. I use the check-in kiosk because I already did it online. And this is a problem anytime you rent several rooms under one name. It's like, I don't know which of these codes I used or
reservation number or whatever.
We changed it. We put your name on it. I think everything worked out per se on that, but like you couldn't use the check-in any longer because I already checked in. Something like that. Anyway, I check and go, and I'm like, where's the parking? It's a parking structure. I'm like driving, and all of a sudden, oh my God, I'm going to hit that thing. And there's people behind me. And it's like, so I slow down and like drive, and it's like, shh. I'm like,
it's a noise. It doesn't sound like scraping.
No, it's just,
it sounds like a whistle.
Yeah. So it's like this fiberglass shell
scraping on concrete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I see other people have done this, and I'm like, oh God. So I go another one, and I'm going really slow, and I'm waving people around me. I'm like, oh God. And like I get to the third floor, I'm like, I cannot take this any longer. Cause like, and the third floor is like diamond level parking. I don't know what you need to be diamond, but like, you know, like first time, I mean, so I'm like, screw it, I'm parking here. And I check in, throw my bags, and I try to catch up with, I was like, my goal, I was like, all right, I want to go to the sandwich place. It's 20 minutes outside of the Strip.
Did you have to pay for early check-in?
No.
Fuckers.
No.
I just got so screwed on that whole thing. All right. Anyway. Sandwich shop.
So I call Paul, and I see on Slack, we have a Slack channel for Guild people so that we all know where people are and what's cool. And it's really great because someone can say, hey, I'm at this place. It's completely cool, and there's plenty of tables, and someone's like, oh, I went to this thing and it sucks because it's too crowded. So we can really coordinate that way. Anyway, I saw there were Paul Leone from New York, Brewers Association, Michelle from the Wyoming Craft Brewers Guild, who is moving on to another job, but for this, she's still in our group. Shawnee from Colorado Craft Brewers Guild, and
Harry? No.
I don't know. 1, 2, 3. No, there's 4 of us.
Okay. Yeah.
So I go, you guys, I know you're going to lunch somewhere. I'm like, I will pick you up. I need at least a couple you get in this car because like we're gonna weigh this thing down. And sure enough, man, I got 4 of them and 3 other people in the car,
and we drove back in with 5 of us.
Right. Just
no
1
problemo.
or 2. Just 1 or 2 we hit though.
No.
Yeah, we did. Oh, I did.
Oh, not on our way. Okay.
So I went out to Al Antico Veneo, and it's supposedly the greatest sandwich in the world, according to who, I don't know. But like they started in Florence and Naples, and they have a location in New York City. They have a California location and one in Las Vegas. It is, if you've been to Pane Bianco, the bread is very similar. The cuts of meat are very similar. I like Pane Bianco, or I like those kinds of sandwiches. You don't see that very often.
Right.
The difference is they use these creamy spreads that are herbed, and the ingredient choices are probably a little bit more gourmet. So you get a sandwich about that big for $20. No one eats all of it.
You probably like a quarter of it is good for me.
Yeah.
And then I have 4 meals.
Yeah.
Great. I'm down.
So I ate that sandwich over several days. Every time I went back to the hotel room, It was like the Simpsons episode where Homer takes half the sandwich and keeps eating it, and it's like gray and wilty at the end. He's still eating it and getting hallucinating and stuff like that. Was me. Every time I went to the room, I was like, I'm gonna have a bite of the sandwich. It was good. I had the one that was supposedly the world's greatest. Was it the world's greatest? No. It's great, good enough for me to talk about for 10 minutes.
And it was really good though.
It was good. It was good, and it was no frills. And they're gonna make $1 billion, and they'll probably franchise that thing out till it's terrible, but it's good. I liked it. It was good. If you're there, great.
So then
I'm not the only one. We all agreed it was pretty good. And when I was like, I want to be drunk walking down the strip with the rest of this sandwich, just eating it in front of people. That's how good it was.
You might have to go back to do that.
I might. No, I don't want to go back.
Okay. I was playing disc golf. My partner was Drew from Uncle Bear's Brewing Company.
Yeah.
And then it was his wife's birthday, so they came in early. Came in on Friday. Spent the weekend with some friends, hung out, and then Sunday morning arrived at the disc golf course. She took an Uber to the airport, but hung out with us for several holes, and then Justin hung out with us too.
Justin Coleman
from Uncle Bear's. And we had a good time. They wanted to do 24 holes, and when we hit 18, Drew and I were like, out. So we left early.
Yeah.
That was just too much, man. It was hot. There was no services on the course. I ran over and bought 10 ice cream sandwiches on the last hole because we were by a car show and they had an ice cream truck. I was like, oh my God, yes.
Yeah. And I had been outside the previous 2 days.
Yeah. It was
so I was like, I don't need to be outside that long.
So then I left with Drew and told you that we were going to go to 595 Craft,
which for some reason I kept calling 585, but no one cares.
And Rob said, we're here now. I was like, what does that mean? Where are you? Are you at the golf course? What's happening? We get there and you're at the 595.
I said 585.
I don't know. You just said I'm here now. And I was like, what?
You said what? Where? I said 585. We can go to the record. We can look. I said the wrong place, but
that's okay. So we got it. We ended up together.
Yeah.
Drew and Justin took off after we had some beers, including Piney for President and
Pliny the
Elder and a whole bunch of really good beers other than Pliny.
Yeah. No, they had a Southern California tap takeover, or California, seeing as Russian River is not Southern California, but yeah, it was California. It was good. It was one of the places that was recommended as a place that had been there for a while.
And the owner manager was at the disc golf thing.
Okay. Did not know that.
Yes. So he's super into disc golf. He gave a big talk about, come on over. And so as soon as we left, the natural thing was we're going there.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know if we need to go through chronologically at this point. I mean,
but we got back to the parking garage in my car, and guess what? No scrape.
Yeah. There's scrapes on it now, though.
Well, there are 5 people in the car. So, yeah.
I think we should just talk about some of the places that we liked and what we didn't like.
Oh God, it's.
I would say that that the beers we had were good. Like I don't have anything bad to say about anything. Like because I know that was a concern that people had.
We didn't even talk about what I did on Saturday because I went to like 7 breweries.
You can talk about the 7 breweries.
No way, too long.
I'm just saying, like
this has already been too long.
No, we got 5 or 6. We got 10 minutes easily.
Yeah. So Sunday we went out. That was the only night I really went out.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember what we did.
We went to the Arts District.
Oh yeah.
Las Vegas Brewing.
I just want to say at the beginning of this though that like there's a narrative like that people didn't want to go because they thought the beer wasn't going to be very good, and that's not the argument that you would ever heard from me.
Right.
That was an open question as to how it would be. It was more about the fact that this was located on the strip, and we would be rewarding and paying. My money was going towards
bad operators,
people who strong arm breweries into paying them to place products, and that results in none of our products going there. I think everybody agrees
that hasn't changed.
Right. And everyone
If you
agrees
listen
that.
to anyone, they said there's nothing to do on the strip.
Right.
We have to leave the strip.
Right.
And that's true.
Right.
And the Craft Brewers Guild there arranged for some codes
Right.
with Lyft and Uber to discount going from the conference hotel to
North Las Vegas,
two
Henderson,
different
or
areas. Yeah.
But it was a one-time code, and you were automatically signed up for whatever their advanced program is that you would have to cancel because it's $99 a year. I'm not saying that wasn't a good thing on their part, but it was. I just want to dispense the myth that there are codes available for free from these companies anymore. Nothing is
correct. No. They paid to get that discount code.
Probably.
They paid a lot to get that discount code.
Right. And I didn't think it was worth giving up my information and having to cancel.
I think very few people used it.
Right.
At least very few people in our group used it.
Sure. And I don't think I used
it was a good idea.
I don't think I used it. I don't think I used Lyft or Uber any more than I normally do or don't on a trip like this. So it was inconsequential. And I was happy to go to other places. It's just not reasonable to do it as much as you think you can, because the strip really restricts you leaving the area. Even,
when I was leaving in the morning.
Yeah.
Did I leave someday? Or am I still there? I can't tell.
I don't know.
When I left, I was like, wow, this city is so gross. Like on the strip, super exciting.
Yeah.
Behind the buildings and everywhere else.
Yeah.
Oh my God. My back seat is jacked up from putting the suitcases in the back seat.
Yeah.
There are wheel marks all over. I have to go get it cleaned.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
A lot of people I didn't remember that smoking is available to you in the casino, and it doesn't take a lot of people to notice. Like for 2 days, I still felt like I was smelling smoke, and people were like, "Oh, is it the marijuana smoke?" That has an odor. I'm talking about the paper burning.
I smelled way less marijuana smoke in Vegas than I thought I would.
Yeah.
Like none. I think
that
zero.
To me, marijuana smoke is more pleasant than the dry burning paper and characterless tobacco smoke.
Yeah.
And that's what you get. And we just lost the camera.
All right. Where were we when everything went to hell?
I just think we were talking in general about
the
good
strip,
and bad.
That the strip is
and
not my favorite place.
It didn't get solved.
They won't be going back there, most likely.
Yeah, we'll see what comes out of that. I think it costs a lot more than they expected. And look, they're stuck. That's the only place you can really have it, apparently. Like with the size of, there's no conference center outside of the strip.
No, certainly not. But I was talking to someone who had formerly been in the event industry, and they said, look, there's not a ton of places where you can have an event this size.
Sure.
To which I am going to say incorrect. Now, this year there was 10,000. In the past, it's been up to 15, maybe even 20,000 at the very peak of craft beer, right?
Right.
There's plenty of places you can do a conference for 10,000 people that won't even bat an eye.
Yes, I agree with you on
that. But if you say, let's go in the Wayback Machine to 3 years ago when they had to sign this contract, or maybe you wanted to have a Arizona Strong Beer Festival, and you're looking at venues who are canceling, the municipalities are canceling things. So you're like, well, this place isn't going to cancel on us, whether there's a disease outbreak or not.
Right.
And you choose that place because that's what you have to do. And if you have to sign the contract to get it done 3 years ahead of time for something like this, you probably just sign that contract, man.
I get it. I do. I really do. Like, because
was that you that we were talking with about it or no?
No.
Just generally. Yeah. Of course you get it. You have to do this.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't have that timeline, but I totally understand it because, nevertheless, there are people who are good at it and have the stomach for it and can understand that you don't always have to sign that contract. I think if you want to get it done, the job done, and get things in the calendar and have this slate of. And that's something the BA did. Like they were saying 5 years out what stuff is going to happen. Like that's not what we're doing. That's not what people do anymore. So
well, that's not. I mean, there's a difference between having a conference for 500 people and having a conference for 15,000.
No. I totally get it. Look, I'm not. We're not looking backward and saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying they may have done this because of the same circumstances that Arizona Strong Beer ended up at Bellbank Park, which again, I will say was a great event.
I think
whatever.
More than any other conference that we've ever talked about in this context, this was the one that got the most pushback.
Yes.
And everybody wants, or there are people who want us to say, oh, it's because we don't believe in the people who make beer in Las Vegas, or no, it's about the Strip. It was literally singularly about the Strip. Like I would have a problem probably with Manhattan because of the expense. I don't know. Or if it was at a New Jersey casino, probably the same problem, right? I just don't think that that's where we should be. And if we're going to make those kinds of concessions, because like one of the things that came up during the voting members was like, oh, New Orleans would love to host you. Like that is a similar place that has an area that is all pay to play.
Legally? I don't know, man. I will say that while I was there, the energy in that conference center was very positive.
Oh, yeah. And well, here's the thing. Once we're there, we're all going to have a good time. We're all going to figure it out.
Well, I would say it was even more positive than other years I've been to CBC. Like people in the place were very excited to be there.
Yeah.
Seemed to be genuinely like happy to be part of the industry. There have been ones I've gone to that have been like,
I think though that people who were there, it's not a stretch. People in the past, it would have been a stretch. I mean, to me, this is more of a post-COVID comeback conference than any of the other ones.
And we have Indy coming up.
Yeah.
Which they had put on a good presentation.
I'm sure. I mean,
you're like, I could put on a good presentation for Chandler if I had the money.
Well, well, a couple things. I want people to know who are listening who are in the industry, like, because I hear every once in a while, like, oh, why isn't Phoenix? I'm just like, that's a great question. It's not because you and I and a handful of breweries who work closely with the BA on other things and have had meetings with BA, have tried to schedule presentations and meetings. It's not because we haven't tried hard. It's because literally everything that was a yes for Las Vegas for some reason was a no for us. No. So too hot. It was the same temperature. Oh, like literally the same temperature. So, and we'll see. I've heard some things that we're back in the running, and now I'm going to go back to the people who have worked with the Phoenix, visit Phoenix and see where we truly are. Like I'm encouraged by that. And one of the things I remind the folks that make these decisions, like we need to know the reasons why it's a no so that we can lobby to change that in our towns. Like, so if it's, well, you don't have this, at least we can go back to our policymakers and say, this is why we're a no.
Right.
Can we help with this? Can we put it on can we ask the state legislature to look at this? And can we help put us in contact with people who have the same need and it's a no for them too? It's great. That's what we do. So we'll see. I guess the ball's back in our court a little bit on that one. So, but I went, one of the places that we had a great time was the Silver Stamp. And
I never went there.
It was a 1970s looking dive bar-ish, had an amazing international tap list. And here's the thing that as busy as it was, their staff was super nice. And you would have not known they were slammed by the look on their faces. Like the doorman, he's like, recognized me the second time I came back. Said,
right. Cool.
Welcome back. It's like,
nice.
Get in here. It's hot. Get in the air conditioning. I came one night. I said, we
have chilled air here at the Silver Stamp.
I came in. He's opened the door for me. Like, hang on. I was like, how busy is it? He's like, it's kind of busy. Like people were being turned away other times of the day. I just was like, all right, well, you know what? I'm going to let someone else in who hasn't been here. Cause like there's other places that we had experience that were within walking distance. So like, you know, we definitely leaned on the arts district. Cause like once you're there though, it's really hard to leave. Just like, that's the reason why the Strip, if you find one or two things to do at the Strip that are
close,
keep doing craft beer related, you know, sponsored by somebody who's probably paying $10, $12 a pint for, you know, you to enjoy, you know,
CMC had a great mixer in the Venetian right immediately next to the conference center. Malt Europe had an amazing event. There were several.
Yeah. But a thing that is happening more now, I've noticed it, and this was definitely in Las Vegas, is they're not closing the place. They're not in the Strip. They were, but some of these small businesses were hosting things, but they weren't closed to the public. They were saying we can't afford to turn away our regular customers. Like I totally get that. I like that. In fact, you know, like to have, and it's happened. A couple people go, "What's going on here? Where are you from? And why are you know?" It's cool. It's cool. Like. You know, talking to the Uber
we always
drivers.
Want to reach out to people that aren't us.
Right.
That's kind of one of the things that you and I personally think is super important for our industry.
Totally.
So if we can get people that randomly walk up interested and maybe like talk to someone about being in the craft beer industry.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, I put together a map of all different things that have nothing to do with bars or drinking or the Strip. And we didn't have time to do any of those.
We didn't do any of them.
We did a ton of those things in Nashville. But that's
because usually we do a day or two before or after.
Sure, but I mean, we did a ton of those in Nashville.
But we also did a day or two before and after.
Yeah. But things you could walk to, that was Nashville.
We didn't do those things.
No, we didn't.
It's too hard to do. Mm-hmm. Like moving around in Vegas is tough. I didn't go out on Monday or Tuesday. I finished the conference and then went back to my place and did work stuff. I watched a movie. I did a trivia. Like I had stuff to do. I had work to do. It'd be great if you can go to a conference and be like, okay, we're just going to not do anything except be at the conference. Just didn't work out for me that time.
Yeah.
It's all right.
We didn't get into any of the seminars at all or anything like that. That's okay.
We had our seminars.
We did.
We went to the keynotes.
Yeah.
Spent a lot of time building relationships on the expo floor. It's great.
We did because we are having our conference coming up, and we're
trying BrewCon is coming up.
We're trying to elicit some support for that, but
tons of people want to be involved. It's very heartwarming, honestly. Now it's harder because I have to be like, okay, we have to have a full expo space. We have to have a keynote / lunch space.
Right.
And then our additional spaces for breakouts.
Right. Whew. Or we're going to have to say this is only for 150 people and there's only for 5 or 10 supporting organizations, vendors / sponsors. Like
that would be significantly below average.
No, it would be, but we could scale it and not lose our asses in the process.
Well, we're not going to make any money though, and we need to really bad.
We do. If you're interested in a good overview of the conference as a participant, our good friend Dave Infante fingers. I think you can get some of this for free. I actually met him. I didn't take a picture though. I ran into him at Huddle for the Michael J. Jackson check signing thing.
I got to go see. I went to the Czech hop people breakout or hospitality in the afternoon, and I saw John Hall and Don C.
I did see those guys.
I was so excited. I was like, what? I know these guys' voices and their faces, but I'm meeting them.
I know. I went up to John and went, wait a minute. Hey, everybody, it's John Hall. That's how it starts every show. Well, it's the same recording. So like the top line on some of this is the presentation by Bart Watson. A lot of people were looking for doom and gloom. It was could be worse, meaning there are opportunities. And I think, the people who, unfortunately, some of these overviews and some of the sessions, they're for people who aren't there, because if you're there, then you probably have a sense of some of this and what the opportunities are. But there was a seminar put on by Scott Metzger about, I don't know what it was called. It was called Your Brewery is a Business, Not a Hobby. And some of the quotes, and I'm sorry, Mr. Infante, these are like, I'm just reading them off of your blog, off of your line of work here. In that seminar, this is an intervention. Craft beer got too easy. It stayed easy right up until the point it wasn't. All you had to do is make good beer, and sometimes even that wasn't required. That's true. We're all in the customer service business. Where have we heard this before?
Yeah.
We just happen to be manufacturers.
And go ahead.
Nobody in the room ever paid a bill with barrels or cases or units. These things are paid in dollars. Pizza parties and fun things, they don't cut it. You got to reward your team in a meaningful way. Like, those are all like pretty obvious things, but like to hear it from your peers.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting. Like, I wonder who was in the room, because like there were some people in the room who were like, tell it, brother, meaning to me that they understand these things, but I didn't hear from any. It's like, oh, they just yelled at us. That means maybe you're doing those things wrong. I don't know.
So one thing that I learned early in being in beer is that every single person that works for you is in sales/customer service.
Right.
Every single person, the dishwasher, the guy who cleans the drains, all of them, you have to treat as though they are your sales team, your customer service team, because their face is out there. People know they work for you. They want it. They want the info. Like, there's nobody that can represent in any way your business,
right,
that you can leave out of the conversation.
I totally agree. Like in the manufacturing, but we have this opportunity, and we still have this. As much as we like to say, it's different now. I use frozen pizzas a lot. Like, if you have a pizza restaurant, like, people come there and that's your bread and butter. And like, but in beer, they ask you, when can I buy your frozen pizza? In the grocery store, or when are you going to open? They do say this. When are you going to open another location? But like, if you're going to literally one of the pizza destinations, right? You don't say that,
right?
You go there for the experience. But no one goes up to you and says, "Oh, you are in a frozen pizza factory?
Can't wait to get Pizza Bianco at my local Costco."
Right. Or then they'll go like, "Oh, you work on the assembly line for frozen pizzas?
It's amazing.
That's great.
That's
I want to
cool.
volunteer and do that. I want to flip some pepperonis." Like, it's
do I get to take some cornmeal home after the end of my shift?
Right. I make pizzas at home, but man, I can't seem to get that frozen pizza experience down.
No, we're being ridiculous.
No, right. But Dave agreed. He went to the Golden Tiki. He went to the Silver
Golden
Stamp.
Tiki, amazing.
No, I feel bad.
I did not go to Tipsy Robot, but I did go down that rabbit hole on my computer on Sunday morning.
Oh, you can talk about that.
Oh, it's just
it's in our hotel.
Horrible.
It's just I
didn't even know it was in our hotel.
It was. I walked by it and I'm like, I thought about it. It's like, it looks like any other shop. It's a place you could get any mixed drink, right? It's all robot. But
I didn't see it at all. I would have stopped and I would have had one because that's interesting. But
it's
man,
soulless.
their promo is super busy, and I was like, oh, that's the only time they've ever been busy.
Right.
Is when they did their grand opening.
Right.
And then everyone else walks by like, what the hell is that? That looks dumb.
Totally.
They have iPads and robots that make your mixed drink. Like, just 2 robot arms behind the bar. That's it. It's kind of wild.
Right.
Oh my God.
And it's just a shop like any other shop. Like it
doesn't stand out at all. If you're walking by like the little gift shop, the place that has like, we have dresses, or we have
they had a
luggage.
They had a hallway where you could tap your own beer. It was a hallway, like a thoroughfare. And it was like, oh, there's tap beers there. And like, and it's like,
how did I not see that in our hotel? Where was it?
It was in the Venetian.
I'm glad
it was so disconnected.
Oh, in the Venetian. Okay.
I mean, this automated drink thing, it works if you're a captive person sitting at a bar. right? Like you're at an airport bar, that's gonna draw your attention, right? And you're gonna sit there and like you're not gonna care.
And it's cool. Like the robots do little dances with their arm.
Right. But it's like in a mall.
All right, let's just move on. I shouldn't have derailed us on that bullshit.
We're done with this.
That's trash.
We're done with this. But I don't know, like again,
I'm glad we talked about the local things first.
Yeah.
Because that was exhausting about the Vegas stuff right now. I'm so tired.
The you and I's of this industry in our role, but also we're going to have a good time no matter where we are. And we're going to figure it out. Right. And, no matter what the beer city is, we will always find somebody, lots of people at some point switching to tiki drinks, low-end American lagers, what have you. So it doesn't have to be hit it out of the park. But, I think what you're saying is accurate in terms of as this thing gets maybe more smaller or more focused or, I had this discussion about supporting guilds and I'm like, yeah, I mean, arguably we're on the edge at 100 breweries, but the BA needs, to me, in my opinion, spend more time on the states that have 40 breweries because they're not going to be able to have enough gas to have somebody looking after their needs. I mean, we have an opportunity. It's harder and harder for us. The states that have 500 breweries, 400 breweries, I think 200. If you have 250 breweries, I think it's a lot easier than most. Like that's where I think the BA spend their money, and they have to, in my opinion, spend some money on people who are local to that state, not necessarily, hire somebody to look over a bunch of states. That's my opinion.
But let's talk about what they are. Let's not talk about what we're working on. Let's wrap it up. Okay. I'll put that in the parking lot for next week.
Please do, because, I'll switch it up.
Oh, yeah. We do have this fun thing for Baja Beer Fest, which is on Saturday, just a few days away. We have these cool jerseys that are just killer.
Right.
They're going to be selling a few of these.
Mostly orange
cool.
with a couple gradients of blue through the middle. The Baja Beer Festival logo. 24 for the year, 2024, and Tucson as on the back with 24. And our good logos on one of these sleeves, but I think this is the selling point here. It's to me, it's a little bit retro, which is kind of in. It's a mix between retro and modern.
That is
Ocho. We've got the Ocho. It doesn't say the Ocho. It just says the Baja in the ESPN font. Allegedly, supposedly. Don't sue us. But yeah, these are going to be for sale. We have larges and extra larges. It's our first experimental run on this kind of thing. And
we are going to have some other T-shirts. I got some shirts made for our volunteers, and I got more made than I have volunteers.
Okay. So you can volunteer if you want to.
No, we can just sell them. It's fine. I have enough volunteers.
Oh, okay.
I got more shirts than that because I didn't know sizes. So it's like that whole mix things up. Again, sizes is a thing, and merch is an opportunity that we just let fly past us.
Right on.
Every couple months.
Well, that was our overview. There's so much to talk about, and really, honestly, it comes down to if we can get a guest in here to sort of speak to that. I don't know when that opportunity is going to be. We'll probably, we've got a busy week.
Should go on the road and, on the road next week maybe and do a podcast with one of the medal winners.
Could.
Yeah.
They're all in the valley, though.
In the East Valley. Yeah.
Road trip.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah. I would like to get Gully from...
I'd love to get Gully on, yeah.
I want to see where that brand's going, man. That is a beer that would excite me to, just because of the branding and now to send that abroad to some of my colleagues.
It'd be cool.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Rob. Thanks for being here. Remember, it's not a podcast about beer. It's a podcast about beer.
It's not a beer podcast. It's a podcast about beer.
Thank God you got it.